I have to say, I'm really excited about seeing you live again, and I always remember seeing the Jam. They used to put on a great performance, full of energy. There was always something to watch, very entertaining. One of the questions I wanted to ask about you in particular, you're famous for doing those high scissor kicks. Now, given that we're all a little bit older and, time's gone on, have you still got the same level of energy to perform those jumps that you used to do when you used to play live before?
If you've logged on to my site, BruceFoxton.com, you'll see the odd photograph there. I surprised myself, actually. It's something that was never choreographed. It was just, you stick your guitar on, you get out on stage in front of a fantastic audience, and you start playing those brilliant songs, and you can't help but just be wrapped up in it all. And I suppose that the jumps come out of that. But, yeah, not bad. Quite impressed myself.
Now, I have to own up to always being a fan of the Jam from the early days. In fact, I grew up in northeast England, and my first memories of yourselves were in June 1977. We were lining up outside the school gym to go in for our final exams, and a group of guys came in late that were in our class and said the previous night they'd been to the best gig ever, and of course it was by the Jam. And the great thing was, though, you played at a venue called Seaburn Camp, and no other bands had played there. That was just like a local hut, I guess, a large hut. But most of the bands that came up from southeast England or London played at large venues like Newcastle City Hall. So you would have to travel there, pay a lot of money to get in. So it was a bit of a revelation that he was a band we'd only heard about or read about, and you were playing in local venues. You became accessible to the kids that previously weren't able to go and see bands. So that stuck in the memory, and I guess that's what you're still doing now. Really, you're bringing your music across here and playing to people who probably never thought they'd get the chance to see the Jam again. So can you tell us a little bit about the current tour?
Yeah, we've only just arrived, obviously. We're in Los Angeles, and we've got today off to still get over the jet lag. Yeah. And then we start tomorrow. And I think, we're over here for about 3 weeks, going into Canada and back out again, and home for about 3 weeks, and then we're off to Australia for, I think it's about a week's worth of shows out there.
Now, given that as a band you've been playing together for a while now, do you have any plans to write or record new material, or perhaps release a new album with the current lineup?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some great new ideas, like new guitar riffs and some good choruses kicking around. But we need a bit of time to be able to, go into rehearsals and knock them into shape. So once we've done all this bit over here in Australia, which I'm really looking forward to, because the Jam never managed to get to Australia.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, we're looking for. We look forward to anywhere where there's interest. That's why we're doing it.
I guess you probably find now as a performer that the difference between playing in, say, 1977 and playing now is that the audiences can be very mixed. I guess when we grew up listening to music, we certainly didn't listen to the music that our parents listened to, and they wouldn't want to listen to our music. Whereas now, the music sort of spans all age generations. You get, fathers, sons, mothers, daughters at the same gigs. So, what type of age range are you finding the gigs that you're playing at now?
Well, I mean, just going back to the new material, we've got April, May that we're going to go into rehearsal rooms and kick some ideas around and see what comes up. But, there's no rush for that, because we've got all the wealth of Jam material, which will always predominantly be our set anyway, but it will be nice to slip in, one or two new songs or even a good cover version to do. So there's quite a few possibilities, and we'll see what happens, what turns up in April, May time. But going on to the audience thing, it's just a real cross-section. You've got people coming, Rick and my age, that were there the first time round, and they're now bringing their kids because, the kids have got into the music from their parents or whatever, or like we said earlier on, discovered, like, listening to whoever, Ocean Colour Sea or Oasis or Kaiser Chiefs or whatever that have sort of mentioned that they're fairly influenced by the Jam, and so they've gone to check out what the Jam did and got into us that way round. So a lot of the shows, and I can only comment on the UK, have just been a really young audience, which is very, very healthy for us.
And to play to new audiences or make new converts and new fans must be very rewarding as a performer, I guess. One thing I wanted to ask, how easy was it to decide on what songs you'd play on the current tour? And is there a particular era from the Jam that you like? Any particular albums? How easy was it to select the songs that you wanted to play?
Sorry, I was going to say, I think we've all got our own favourites, but I mean, the set really covers pretty much, we play, I think I'm right in saying anyway, we pretty much play something from all the albums, because it was a great short career, really, and I'm personally very proud of every album, and there's some fantastic songs. I mean, like This Is the Modern World, we didn't play, a lot from that album in our heyday, but now we're playing Live from a Window in the set, and it's one of the lesser-known album tracks, and we love the song, and it's going down a storm.
The thing about the current date you're playing, of course, over here is that you've also got Hugh Cornwall supporting. Hugh Cornwall, the original singer-guitarist from the Stranglers. So it's going to be a treat for any music fan of, British music from the late 70s, early 80s into punk, new wave, mod. They're going to hear songs from the Jam. They're going to hear some songs from the Stranglers. So promises to be a real treat, and I'm sure everybody's going to have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, we flew out with Hugh. I mean, I didn't know we were doing that. We flew out yesterday with Hugh and Caroline, his bass player, and I think it's Chris, the drummer. We flew out with them, and we had dinner last night together, and it was great to see Hugh again. I haven't seen Hugh for quite a few years, and I'm really, really excited to listen to him. I've heard good things of his band and stuff. So, and like you say, I mean, it should be for obviously the people that are into that style of music, the Jam and Stranglers. Should be a great night for everybody.
I'm sure it will, and I, for one, am very excited about seeing you live again after so long and hearing Jam music performed. I'd just like to say thank you very much for joining me today, Bruce. It's been a great pleasure talking to you, and I wish you every success in the future, and I look forward to perhaps hearing some new material from you, maybe later in the year.
Yeah, it'll be definitely later in the year, but we're going to look into it.
So take care, and thanks for joining us.
Cheers, thanks for the nice chat. Thanks, Dave.